we are going to just go through some key basic terms I need you to know. So 70 to 200 was the first rabbinic period. 70 was the Churban Habayit and the establishment of the first rabbinic group and academy at Yavne. They begin a process that continues over the next 130 or so years. Those first generations of rabbis through that whole period are called Tanaim. Singular Tana, the group are Tanaim. And they continued to develop and add and expand the collection of rabbinic teachings over the course of that period. Around 200, the main teachings of the Tanaim are collected and organized into a central work called the Mishnah. So the Mishnah is an arrangement or an organization of the main teachings and traditions of the Tanaim. Some of them are based on the Bible, some of them are based on other traditions, some of them are new ideas. They're all gathered into one work, the Mishnah, edited by Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi. His name will come up again, Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi. The second rabbinic period, from 200 to about 550. This is a lot of years. There are many generations of rabbis who are studying, debating, interpreting the Mishnah, adding other traditions that they've heard, that they know, and connecting them to Mishnah, asking questions, preserving other kinds of stories. These rabbis from this whole period are called Amoraim. You'll say that word a few times. Amoraim, you'll remember it. Over time, their discussions are collected into an organized book, an organized work, in the same way that the Mishnah was. This final collection is called the Gemara, or the Talmud. Unlike the Mishnah, which was very sort of tightly edited and carefully scripted, the Gemara is much more of a discussion and with digressions, and we will see that it is a different type of work. It is also organized in the form of a commentary. That is, every section of Gemara is attached to a piece of Mishnah and follows the order of the Mishnah. So unlike the Mishnah, which is its own system, the Gemara follows the order of the Mishnah, chapter by chapter, section by section. So the Tanaim developed the teachings that became the Mishnah. The Amoraim developed their debates, interpretations, and new teachings that end up as the Gemara or the Talmud. Now, organization. The Mishnah is divided into 6 main sections: Sidarim, whose names we have already encountered. The Mishnah as a whole is sometimes just called the Shisha Sidarim, the 6 Sidarim, or in short, Shas. So if you hear that term, Shas, it refers to the whole thing. First, the whole Mishnah. It is sometimes also used slightly inaccurately to refer to the whole Talmud. The acronym Zman Nakat is another way to remember the order of the 6 Darim, if that is helpful. Now, we know that each Seder is a general area of law. Zeraim is all the agricultural laws, and Moed is all of the holidays and special times, etc. Each Seder is divided into a number of books, each of which is focused on a more narrow, specific topic. Each of these is a Masechta. Right? The 6 main sections are Sidarim, a Seder. Each Seder is divided into Masechtot. You might hear the word tractate as a translation of Masechta. We can call them more simply just books. So, Shabbat, Sukkah, and Rosh Hashanah are all Masechtot that are part of Seder Moed. We would say Masechet Shabbat, Masechet Sukkah, Masechet Rosh Hashanah. Each Masechta is divided into prakim. We usually call the prakim by numbers. Perek Aleph, Perek Bet, Perek Gimel, or 1, 2, and 3. Within a perek, each individual unit is called a Mishnah. So, if we're doing one specific paragraph of text, we will say we were in Masechet Shabbat, Perek Bet, say, Mishnah Aleph, right? Perek Bet will have Mishnah Aleph, Mishnah Bet, Mishnah Gimel, Mishnah Dalet. Right? Or we might write it Shabbat 2:1, where 2 is the Perek, and 1 is which Mishnah within the Perek. Finally, the word Mishnah is used in two separate ways. When we talk about the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi edited the Mishnah. Right? What type of system is the Mishnah? We're talking about the whole collection, all 6 starim, the entity as a whole. However, we also talk about a Mishnah, and by a Mishnah we really mean the smallest unit of text. Right? One paragraph. The first Mishnah in this perek talks about how you do something. The second Mishnah in the perek talks about when you do it. And the third Mishnah in the perek talks about why you do it. So, the Mishnah, the whole system, but a Mishnah, this Mishnah, that Mishnah. Which Mishnah are we on? Is the smallest unit, a single paragraph. So, to review, we're going to start by focusing on the Tanaim and the teachings that are collected in the Mishnah, which, as we will see, is very much the culmination of the process that we saw beginning with Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai fleeing to Yavne. The next thing is the Amoraim, who created the Gemara or the Talmud, and we will encounter many of their teachings sort of further on in the year. The Mishnah is divided into Starim, and the whole Mishnah can be called Shas. Seder is divided into Masechtot. Each Masechta is divided into Prakim. Each Prakim is divided into individual Mishnayot. And with that, we will dive into our work.